Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time doing another Christmas review, and this one is on the 2018 film, The Grinch. Now, The Grinch is meant to be a computer animated Christmas fantasy film that was produced by Illumination, the same company behind Despicable Me, Sing, and Hop, as well as being based on the 1957 novel How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss, and is pretty much a third adaptation of the story after the 2000 Grinch film, as well as the 1966 one. Now, I remember last year I did watch this film at my dad's house last year, and did comment on 24 frames of Nick's channel when he uploaded his video on it. And surprisingly enough, a lot of people can agree with me on this, is that the film does feel rushed. It doesn't really take time with things. So the premise of the film is meant to follow the Grinch, voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, who is meant to be resentful, sort of lives in his own fortress of solitude with Max. You can kind of tell he hates Christmas with a passion, and he doesn't really become a public nuisance like in the 2001. Here, he just gets annoyed with the holiday and gets fed up with everyone's cheerful behaviour. And we kind of see how Cindy isn't really meant to kind of be the one who helps Grinch get back in the Christmas season. Instead, it's her wanting to do something special for her mum. I think what made Cindy work in the 2001, she tried to be a friend to the Grinch. She tried to kind of help him get back into the Christmas season and tried to be a friend. And for the most part, I would say, yeah, the film doesn't really take time to breathe with things, and doesn't really take time with the Grinch, because it just kind of has him as a kind of like self-hiding, kind of used to his own company. And for the most part, I would say they do rush the whole plan of him wanting to ruin Christmas from coming too quickly. And for the most part, yeah, it's just him trying to slowly build up his kind of plan. He's got a kind of goal that's going to kind of work, but you can kind of tell there's signs that he isn't really a bad guy. I think for the most part, I would say the film still keeps true to what Whoville is. It's still got the same things that I think the 2001 did right as well, so there are points to that. I think for the most part, I would say the narrator being voiced by Pharrell Williams sort of works, but I think what made the narrator in the 2001 work, it was like an old granddad or a grandparent reading the story. And yeah, you actually had more time to get to know the characters. You had time to sort of see the environment and see how characters did and behaved. I think as well, when you actually had Angela Lansbury playing the mayor, she doesn't really feel like an interesting character. I think what made Mayor Augustus Who work as a character and a bit of an antagonistic foil to Cindy was that you could kind of tell he believed he was in the right and just wanted a Grinch-free Christmas. And I think for the most part, what did make Jim Carrey's Grinch work was that you could tell he had one bad experience and felt like he pushed everyone away from him. That's a good idea for a story. Here, the 2018 one rushes things badly because it takes time with things, but it feels way too rushed. I think it doesn't really take any creative things when the Grinch steals the presents, because what actually made Jim Carrey's one work was that he was quick to steal things. There was some humour and creative ideas to how he stole gifts. Here, it feels like it's copying things from the 2001, like the whole cat thing, and yeah, and same things as well. I think what made Ron Howard the better director for The Grinch was that he knew what he was telling the story. There was a bit of a moral with his film about celebrating the true meaning of Christmas with friends and family. Here, I would say this one does have a bit of a message about celebrating Christmas with friends and family, but the message feels a little mixed in. It doesn't really add anything new to what it's going to be. So I think for the most part, I would say this one of The Grinch I would give a pass. It rushes things, doesn't take time for us to get to know everyone. So yeah, I think it definitely deserves a thumbs down. It's not good, not great, but it doesn't take time to breathe and get to know everyone. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.